We're
Okay.
recording.
Okay, great. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Hi, babe.
How you doing?
Good watch. Look at me.
Oh, you're so cute. Just sipping sipping a little mug by a window.
It's fall.
Oh, you're like Jennifer Aniston living in Maine in the second season of the morning show.
She moved to Maine.
She moves to Maine. She does.
I love how for some reason like my brain works where if somebody's oh I'm up in Maine. I'm like, where? Like, why do I need to know? Like, what is it? I don't understand why my like impulse is to be like um
What
tell
part
me
of
the
Maine?
city. I don't even know any other part of Maine other than like the space between your mom's and Portland. But for some reason
Well,
I'm like, what part?
well, I think it's that you are extremely skilled at small talk in a way that most people are not,
I don't know if that's
which
true.
no, you are. You're really good at it. And it's amazing because you can just keep it going. It's like I'll be sitting in an Uber with you and you just have all this shit to say to somebody you've never met before and you have nothing to gain from them and you're just chatting them up. And I got to
I'm a
tell you,
fraud.
you do learn a lot of stuff from small talk. Like I'm trying to get better at it because I think that it leads to very interesting conversations. But so I'm trying to be like, also it feels hack to be like, I hate small talk. I never hear anybody be like, I fucking love small talk.
Yeah, I'm a pioneer when it comes to small talk. A lot of people don't know
Mhm.
that. Kind of breaking ground.
Yeah, it's a useful, I mean, don't you think so? It's really useful.
I think I'm good at talking to people that are like
I'm
um
not talking about your skills in particular, though. I'm just
no,
talking
no, but
about
I think it's like a skill for like when there's no consequences. You know what I mean?
what do you mean? Why would there ever be
Like you're never going to see
consequences?
those people again. Like it's
Oh,
anonymous. I don't
mm,
know.
I get
Like
what you're
that's
saying.
I'm good at talking to Uber drivers. Although I regret it every time. Every time you break that seal, because they're not going to start talking to you. For the most part, an Uber driver is just like, "Yep, we don't have to talk." And then I'll just like, it's like this itch, because I'll be like, I feel like that name's from a place. I'm gonna guess where that name's from. I'm gonna guess.
Yep.
I'm gonna guess a location, and then I go, "Hey, are you from the Himalayas?" And he goes, "Yeah." And then it's like fucking 45 minutes of talking about the fucking Himalayas.
I will say most of the time I'm very prepared to be horrifically embarrassed when you
Mm-hmm.
guess where someone's from. And then each time you get it, I'm like, what the fuck are you? Like, how do you do that? And also, I mean, it starts with me just being so relieved that you didn't embarrass both of us.
Mm-hmm.
But then it turns into like slow burning resentment that turns into a UTI. Um, because now I'm stuck in an Uber with someone I don't know and my husband. Well, someone I don't know and an Uber driver talking about talking about some mountain range in a place I've never been to. But I'm trying to get better at like listening to it because you learn a lot from small talk.
I uh
It gives you something
I
to
just
add to conversations that you actually want to be a part of.
yeah, I think I just get a kick out of it. Like I get a kick out of knowing, but I do also like I admire your ability to just be like, I'm not going to talk to this person because it's just better. It's better to just like sit quietly in an Uber. I think everybody can kind of, I think that's
I
pretty
don't
true.
I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't think it's better or worse. It's definitely how I prefer to live, but I think that I think that there's like a lot of value in just getting to know someone that you don't know, because it's like the human thing. We never do it anymore. We never like sit down with somebody that we don't know and go like, let me just get to know this person because I'm killing time with them. Like let's imagine a world where we don't have phones and we're just here
Yeah.
with our thoughts. I would be talking to this person if I didn't have a phone.
Yeah, I wonder like if like back in the day before phones, like if you didn't talk to your cab driver, was it like rude?
Probably thought you were having a heart attack. Probably
He was
like
like they're
this
having
person's this person's in a lot of pain
they're
right
going
now.
through their divorce.
Yeah.
Um, so what are you doing in New York? I'm in Seattle.
Not much, but I was just thinking about cab drivers and like talking to cab drivers. I was thinking about Sex in the City, because in every scene in Sex in the City, they're usually in the cab with. Where are you going? You turning the
I'm getting out of
chair?
that sunbeam. It
Um,
was a little too bright.
well, they're always talking amongst themselves, but then when they're in a cab by themselves, they're usually not talking to the cab driver.
Yeah. And I mean, I also think that there was like there used to be that trope of like the cab driver that wouldn't shut up, right?
Right. Yeah.
Everybody's
It's
like,
funny.
"Ugh."
It's funny because here I'm thinking like, oh, we would just be chatting it up with cab drivers if we didn't have phones. I don't think that's true. I think the culture in New York is that you don't speak to someone unless you're spoken to, because there's so little personal space that you're just trying to give someone the privacy of their own thoughts.
And also most cab drivers are already like on the phone with somebody. I don't understand like cab drivers stay on the phone and it's usually like it
They really do.
I'm guessing this because it and I don't mean to be offensive at all, but it seems like they're talking to somebody back home because it's always like they're always like I don't know, maybe they're talking to another cab driver. I don't know who they're talking to. Maybe they're just talking to their family in Queens or something. But it's so weird because they'll be at like cab drivers will be on the phone and you'll be like, all right, I need to go here and it's the address. And then they'll just like, then you'll just hear them talking and you'll be like, oh, you're like, you've been on the phone the whole time. Like, what's the other guy? Is he, it's very weird.
Well, a lot of times they'll be on the phone on speaker, and so you hear them not talking to the person on the other line. The person on the other line is just like talking to people in the room with them.
Yeah.
I always feel like it's like a way for I'm always like, oh, it must be their wives. They're just making sure they're not out there just slinging dick all night.
Yeah. You know how, you know how hot those guys all are.
Sometimes you'll get a hot cab driver, Andy.
Shut up.
You
You've
don't
never
know.
seen a
I
hot
mean,
guy.
listen, you've never seen a hot man in your life.
You don't even know what a hot guy looks like. You're
You
blind.
don't. You don't even have eyeballs.
Yeah.
I took them
Seriously,
out.
you don't leave the house.
I took your eyeballs out while you were sleeping. You have fake eyes. The whole world is just something I programmed into your brain.
I've told you about my fantasy before where it's like I can speak
Weird
I can
segue,
speak
by the way.
all
Very weird segue.
I know. I have ADD and um but I have this fantasy where I can just speak all the languages and I'm just in the cab driver and the cab driver's just talking to his, whatever family in Bengal or Hindi and then
Queens.
I just chime in and I'm just like ba 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 and they're like, "What?" Like just blows their mind.
So it's really just like a you want them to like you. You're like, please like me.
I think I feel like it's more than like me. I want them to be impressed. Like I want people to be in awe of me. Like that's definitely like something that was trained into me was like you have to wow them, kid. Uh it's so weird because I'm like,
It's like you
I'm
were
going through.
raised in a it's like you were raised in a commune of car salesmen.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, because I'll get back to this, but I'm in this therapy right now where we're kind of going through some heavy stuff. And then I'm at the scene of the crime. I'm here taking care of my mother. And
Yeah.
my mom was depressed when I was a kid. And so I can remember that it was kind of like you had to wow her to get her to like, you kind of had to like sing and dance to get her to like perk up. And so I think that
Yeah.
was a big part of it. Um, and also my mom just she liked TV so much. So I think that was like a big part of it. Like,
Yeah.
it was like it was the 90s, man. Everything was like flashy.
I know. I was talking to Courtney last night, my best friend from Portland who just had a kid, and she was like, "He's so cute. He's so cute. I should put him in commercials." And I was like, "Don't you dare. Don't you
Don't do
dare
it.
do that." And I was like, "If you love that kid, you will not put him in entertainment. And also, if you love me, you won't put your kid in entertainment." I was like, "Please, please, just don't do it because it gets in their mind. You know what I mean? It's like once you put it's like entering them into a cult. Like the rest of their lives, they're gonna be like, to impress my mother, I need to book a commercial. And I'm telling you, it's not the way. like like
It's
I can't tell you how many times my parents were like, Rosebud, come down here, do your Ethel Merman impression for our friends. And I'm like 5 or 6 doing an impression of a woman who's like 6 times my age, just like an
10
old
times,
Broadway
10 times your
actress,
age.
just coming out, yeah, 10 times my age, coming down the stairs and being like, well, it's showtime. You know what I mean? Like a woman who's just past her prime on Broadway.
Anybody who's thinking about putting their child in show business, just send them a link to the Tim Dillon show and just, ask if that's what you want. Ask if what you want in your dying days when your son visits you.
Yeah.
Uh,
I will say, like,
just
I can picture a kid. I can picture Tim Dillon in his crib, putting out a cigarette. Like, all right, it's time to go wow 'em. You know what I mean?
yeah, still got it.
I still got it. These fucking
Oh
idiots.
man.
They'll laugh at anything.
I work for milk and milk only because he's a baby.
Yeah, got it. Thank you for
Um,
explaining the joke that was already on the nose.
it just didn't get that big of a laugh.
You
Sometimes
wanted more.
you gotta push it to the edge.
Mm,
That's what they always say, right? That's an old show business saying is push it to the edge.
yeah, I was thinking it's actually more of a medical thing. I've never heard a doctor that wasn't like, "Hey, push yourself to your absolute limit."
My doctor's always telling me I should get into edging. My doctor's always like, you should edge more. You're gonna want to edge.
That's part of your therapy.
Yeah, my doctor's Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
Well, he's not Joe Rogan. He's the Joe Rogan of jerking off. That's his.
right.
That's his.
That's his
His
tagline.
business. Yeah, Doctor Blank Blank, the Joe Rogan of jerking off.
His real name is Dr. Blank Blank.
Yeah, he's from another place. He was in the CIA. We're not allowed to say his name.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I would like to talk about what I'm doing right now, if you don't mind an abrupt segue.
I don't.
But I'm in Seattle because my mother got a total knee, and so
That's
I've
a
been
surgery.
yeah, and it was crazy because luckily my knee's right here. On Monday morning, they cut her. they cut
Luckily,
her.
my knee's right here.
Yeah, luckily my knee is positioned for this
You know,
diagram. So they
actually, fortunately, I have a knee right here.
let's here we go. Let me see if I got a knee around here. Oh, there we go. But so they cut the bone here. They sawed her bone here, and then they sawed her bone here, and then they put in a metal
Above the knee and
knee.
below the knee.
They just took the whole knee joint out, and then they put a new knee in. And she was walking around that night. Like that night, she was like walking on her knee, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like that's so insane to me that you can just like you can get something like that done and then just be like hobbling around by that evening. I mean,
I
she's
think it
still like
makes
pretty
it
fucked
makes
up.
sense though, because it's like your brain, it kind of tells you how much work the brain actually does. Because if your brain wasn't just like sending that signal, like, yep, move the knee, you know,
Yeah,
you just, if your brain wasn't the one responsible for that, you would get a brand new knee and you would just go home and be like, there's no way I'm moving. Like, does that make sense? What I'm trying to
yeah,
say is
yeah.
it's so fucking crazy that you're, oh, hang on. Sorry, where'd you go? Okay. It's so crazy to me that you're like, whatever. I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. Maybe it's not as crazy as I'm saying as I think it is, but it kind of blows my mind that you're that you could put in a new heart and your brain would still be like, okay, beat. You know what I mean? Like your brain doesn't know the difference between the old one and the new one. So it just still
Yeah,
tells the same, it just sends the same messages.
but the whole time your body's like, get rid of this thing, get it out of me, because your body has its own brain.
Yeah.
It's got a separate brain.
What? No, what are you talking
I
about?
I don't know. I'm not. I'm sorry.
You were just trying to do a bit.
Yeah, it was. But let me continue
This is
on.
not a
My,
comedy podcast, Andy. Just so you know. We're doing NPR.
this is a podcast about a marriage falling apart. Um, but
Oh no, remember our listener wanted us to not make jokes about that anymore.
oh yeah, we can't do jokes about um,
About divorce
because I'll
anymore.
push you away. I'll push all the gifts of the universe away.
Yeah, he's saying that we're hurting our list. He said we are hurting our listeners' feelings when we make jokes about divorcing each other.
Yeah. Believe me, the only person that will be hurt will be I don't know. Actually, I don't.
You, hopefully,
Yeah, I think you. I think
and
you'll do.
me.
You'll bounce back. You'll bounce back fine though. You've got a lot going on. You'll be able to occupy your time.
Women are
I'll have to
better at
move back
breaking up.
here.
Women are better at
I'll have to
breaking up
live.
than men.
Yeah, that's true. I'll have to live in this room if we get divorced. So
It's
I
not a
hope
bad
we
room.
don't. It actually is kind
Um,
of nice. It's got a patio.
I'm sorry. You keep trying to talk about your mom's fucked up knee. Go ahead.
Um, but she's like, so I've been like, like I help her get in and out of bed, and I like help her lift her knee onto this like elevated pillow, and I have to put these compression socks on,
Mhm.
and I have to like get her ice and water and help her take her pills and stuff. um but she's like starting to like, at first I thought I was like being so noble. I was like, look at me being a good son to this monster. And then
Right.
now she's like living it up. She's like, she's like, she'll like yell at me like from like across the house. She'll be like, Andy, more lemonade. And like just now before we started the pod, she was like on the phone, and she was going like, like pointing at her glass, like more lemonade.
Like
Like
you're a
fucking
waiter at a 5-star restaurant.
yeah, and she keeps on calling me her nurse. And
Yeah, she did text me that you didn't feed her until noon one day, and she was like, "Is this elder abuse?"
yeah, she's like leaning into it. And honestly, I it's triggering. It's very triggering because I could just murder her, and that's
You
my
wouldn't.
noble. No, I don't want to murder anybody. I'm actually a pretty non-violent guy.
Yeah,
Unless
you're
it comes to
actually.
messing with my wife, and then I'm ready.
Then I'm ready to fight.
You mess with my wife, I swear to God, you'll get a knuckle sandwich.
That didn't sound threatening at all. That sounded.
I don't I think it's so funny that knuckle sandwich used to be a threat. Knuckle sandwich is Can you imagine somebody telling you you're going to get a knuckle sandwich and then being like, "Oh shit, I better
Yeah,
change my
it,
ways."
it almost sounds coy. It sounds like you're flirting. I'm gonna give you a
You want
little
a
knuckle
knuckles?
sandwich, you little bad boy. Andy,
Oh,
we have to this is a Monday episode, correct?
it is.
So then it's time to read the patrons. We have new patrons. Okay. And I have
Are
them
you
pulled
looking
up.
at them?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Wait, did you
We
pull
have
them up
one
on Patreon or on the email?
on Patreon.
Let me make sure that I should do this because they're I read them off the email. Sorry.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I know that our listeners love to hear us looking through our email. I think it's engaging content for them. And I don't know if you guys can tell that I'm stalling while Andy pulls up
I'm ready.
this fucking email account. Oh, hell yeah. That was
Are
quick.
you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. We got Mike the Finnish kid living in Germany. Wow. And
Wow.
also, I want to say, oh God, I don't know about this one. He said, I'm
No,
so white that
don't. It's fine. You don't have to read that. I read it. You don't have to say it.
okay, good.
Yeah, it makes us sound like we're a community.
Endorsing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're a community. Yeah. Welcome to the beach, Mike the Finnish. Maybe, I don't know, don't lean into that so hard. That would be kind of
Yeah,
a ideal situation. And then we
right.
have Hung Young Terrorist. Which I don't I don't know. I don't know.
That's Tara.
I don't
That's
know any.
Tara Pasternak.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's great. Cool.
yeah, awesome. Um, and then let's see. I know that we were gonna read reviews, but I don't think we have any new reviews this week. So you guys, if you haven't already, please head over to iTunes, leave us a review. We have some changes coming up to the podcast. We may be moving to a certain network, which is exciting. And we are and we also have some road dates coming up. Andy, do you want to plug some of your road dates?
Yeah, this weekend I will be at the uh Charlie Goodnights in Raleigh, Durham. I keep on saying Charlotte, and that is wrong. I will be
Mhm.
in Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina, Friday and Saturday. And then Rosebud and I will be at the Wise Guys Comedy Club. It's Rosebud's headlining. I don't want to act like it's a both of us show. It's Rosebud's
It is
at
both of
Wise
us, though.
Guys. I know, but I just want to, it's not a co-headlining date. I'm just there to support. I'm going to be doing basically the same thing I'm doing for my mom, but for my wife, giving her a lot of lemonade, putting ice on her body, and her compression socks. And
Yeah.
then I will be at the Philadelphia Punchline the first weekend of November. I'm really excited for that. I was supposed to be in Indianapolis, but I canceled that because I miss my wife. I canceled that. So
Aw,
yeah,
so sweet.
I
I'm
called
so
in.
glad you did that.
I literally did that. The joke that we said. over and over about me calling in sick to work because I missed my wife. I finally did it. It became a reality. I said, I miss my goddamn wife. I'm not going
I don't
anywhere.
know if we've done that. Have we done that joke on the podcast? I feel like that's something that we just do at home.
I think we have not done it on the podcast. I think it's
Yeah.
a joke that we do where it's, what if a guy called into work because he missed his wife? He's like, yeah, I'm not gonna.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I know the building needs construction. I know that I'm the foreman, but I just miss my wife. I can't come in. I'm sick to death. I miss my wife.
The specific you just went with was, I know the building needs construction.
Hey guys, I know the plane needs to be flown. I know that I'm the pilot.
Hey,
But you know,
sorry guys, I know the
I
body.
can't even see because I miss my wife.
I know the bodies need medicine, but I'm not gonna make it to the hospital today because I can't get out of bed because I miss my wife so much.
I know the car has to be built.
Detroit edition. This
But
is
I
a
can't.
Detroit edition of
But I can't come in. I can't come into the auto body shop today because I really miss my wife.
I'm not gonna make it in.
My hands are shaking because I miss my wife.
I keep on throwing up because I miss my wife so much.
I don't want to throw up into the car engine.
I don't want to throw up into the car making building.
Hey guys, I know all the toilets need to be unplugged, but I can't I can't make it because I'll just barf right into them thinking about my wife because I miss her.
Yeah.
Okay. To keep going with the we are also going to be in Reykjavik, Iceland, and we are doing a co-headlining show there, and that'll be on
October
Andy,
23rd.
help me. Okay, thank you so much. And it'll be at the
Do you know
Secret
the name
Cellar.
of the theater?
Yeah, the Secret Cellar in Reykjavik, Iceland, which is fucking crazy. So I don't know if we have listeners in Iceland, but if we do, there's probably two of you. Please tell your friends because the theater seats about 200 people.
Does it?
It seats a lot of people. I think it seats like 150 to 200, 175 to 200. My manager's
We're gonna
calling
sell
me.
it out. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, no, it's gonna be great. I'm really excited about that show. It's gonna be so fun, and it seems like there's like a weirdly active comedy community in Iceland.
The Scandinavians, they love it. I mean,
yeah,
I think they elected, I don't know if it was the president or the mayor, but I mean, I think 75% of Icelandic people live in Reykjavik, so it doesn't really matter. But they elected a comedian as their president, I think.
Really?
Yeah, it was either the mayor or it was like a big position in Iceland. Like a comedian won the election. That's how powerful comedy is. Next time somebody goes like, comedy isn't, that big of a deal, go, I could be the president. Say that to them.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll work. I think they'll be like, you know what? I never saw it that way. And that'll be the end of the whole argument.
I'm the Joe Rogan of jerking off. That's what I'll say.
What would be the opposite of what would be the opposite
slogan.
of that though? Like what's I mean, it would literally be like, I'm just trying to think of the
Sarah Kane Egg of reading books.
Of jerking off. I'm the Sarah Kane Egg of jerking off. Such an idiot. So your mom is so she's taking advantage of you now? Is that how you feel?
Yeah, she's living it up. I mean, it's like it's fully, she just leaned into it. I'm gonna drain her bank account. I'm excited.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, I have access to all her cards. I know all her pins. You know,
Yeah.
Daddy's going shopping.
Okay, good. Just put it on the corporate card since you're working as a healthcare hero.
I am a healthcare hero now. That's pretty exciting. I think we should bring back clapping. I want an applause.
We do have a new review, Andy.
Oh, we do?
We do. It's from a
Oh.
non-listener. I hope it means anonymous listener because it sounds like a non-listener. Like I don't listen to this.
I would never listen to this podcast, but I thought I might put down some words.
Yeah. Andy and Rosie forever. This podcast has to be one of the best things I've ever discovered on the internet. Oh, that's great. I seriously love these guys and have absolutely formed a parasocial relationship with them because they make me laugh so hard. I live in NYC too. Andy, please give me the full review of each subway line. And one time I thought I saw Andy at Rockaway Beach, a tall, sickly man looking lost with his mouth open.
Oh my God.
This is accurate.
Sick.
This is accurate. Wearing a baseball cap and guiding a small, scrappy dog. I don't really think it was him, even though he looked like he was with a small, blonde, angry woman. But it made me laugh thinking about how messed up it would be if I saw my favorite podcasters at the topless beach. Anyway, please don't ever stop podcasting. It seriously brings me so much joy, and not to get too gross, but hope for love too. Also, Rosebud, your special was hilarious. Oh, that's so sweet. That's a really good review.
Yeah, that's a really good review.
I love that.
I'm going to nip this in the butt right now. I am not sick. I'm not sick. I don't get sick. All right.
You do. You do get sick.
I do not get sick. I have not been sick for years. Rosebud got COVID twice. I got nothing.
I got it once.
I'm bulletproof.
Don't go spreading that I got COVID twice.
Rosebud got COVID twice.
That's not true, Andy. I got it one time.
She did a gig on a Chinese school bus. This was before the pandemic. And she got sick.
I probably got it from you because we did fuck that night and you did spit in my mouth. So
I did. I did spit into your mouth while you had COVID, and I did not get it. Champion, dude.
That is fucked.
Invincible.
We had just gotten the vaccines. We thought we were untouchable. You spit in my mouth, and then immediately afterwards, I was like, I don't feel good. And then I started like crying because you couldn't fix it.
I remember that whole time I was like, she just has allergies.
You're going in and out like it's like your mic is you have to talk louder, just so you know.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I forgot what I was saying, but I'm going to try better now, and I'm going to try to be better.
Try to be better.
I'm going to be best, be better, build better back, build back better.
Yeah, build better back. That was the worst slogan I've ever heard for a presidential campaign.
Build back better.
Build back better.
Who was it?
It was Joe Biden. I almost said Rogan.
Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan of jerking off.
That's definitely the name of this podcast at this point, of this episode. Yeah. But yeah, Build Back Better was Biden's campaign slogan, and it was so bad that no one even mentioned it. Like, no, they didn't even. They were like, "We're going to build America back," but they never used it because they had to have known that it was absolute trash.
It's so funny to me that we literally all voted we were just like, let's get Trump out of office. This has to stop. Like, we got to stop being crazy. And then we all just gave up on politics. Like, we went through this traumatic event. It was like basically like we were being molested
it's just
by
like
our
politics
coach,
was politics was all we talked. Politics was all we talked about for 4 fucking years, and then we were all immediately just like, fuck this. And I feel like the same, I kind of feel like that a little bit about comedy now, because there's, you know, there's this culture war going on, and I just don't care. I don't fucking
Yeah.
care. And if that's kind of like if that's what people are still talking about now on stage, I'm literally like, shut the fuck up. None of us give a fuck. We don't care. We're over it. I would rather be a fucking game show host than a comedian at this point, because I I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. Like the fight
Yeah.
to make sense
I
to the
don't think it
person
was
who
ever.
it's so played out, and so it just feels hacky, honestly.
Well, it's so weird that the idea of free speech and cancel culture, like that somehow was like an existential threat for like a lot of people. Like a lot of people were like, oh, we have to, like, there's people that are like, they're still, I mean, more than ever, I think there's people that are like super passionate about this idea that like there's some kind of like group of like, liberal
Just like the
arts
people that
college.
were like, oh, I'm going to name my special problematic. It's like, shut up. Shut up. Nobody thinks you're problematic. You're not even saying anything. And also, even if you did get canceled, nothing would fucking happen. Your career would be fine. You'd be good. It would probably boost your ticket sales. And then, like, but even the other side of it, like, the whole conversation, even like what we're doing now, I'm just like, nobody cares, you know? Nobody really cares
Yeah.
anymore. We all just want to talk about like silly shit,
Yeah.
you know?
I just want to talk about how many tapioca balls I can fit under my foreskin. When I go to the boba shop and I go, I just want the boba, and they go, what flavor? No, nothing. I just need those
I'm not
balls.
I'm not even going to
I'm doing
taste it.
something weird.
No, you're like, I want to see if I can taste it.
Yeah. Do you guys ever dip your penis in something to see if you can taste it?
Yeah, I want to surprise my husband by making little poop statues that the dogs leave behind. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let the dogs poop in the house. I'm gonna make little statues out of their poop, and then one day Andy's gonna come home. He's gonna be like, "It stinks in here," and then he's gonna be like, look at this tiny work of art."
Is that Joan of Arc? Oh my God. Oh.
We're
Um,
silly. What I'm saying
what
is,
about it?
we're the best. You know.
We are the best. We are some of the best. Honestly, I don't know how listenable this episode is, but it has been one of the most fun episodes I've had. I wish that the amount of fun we're having, I hope that the amount of fun we're having translates to how much
The listeners.
to the audio. Yeah.
I think this was particularly listenable. Personally,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I'm having a great time. We did the running joke about you missing your wife and the guy not being able to go to work. We did
Joe
the poop
Rogan of jerking
statues,
off.
the Joe Rogan of jerking off, the tapioca balls under your foreskin. Which, can I just ask you where that came from in your brain? What area of your brain? How did the connections get made there?
I don't know. I I'm not really sure. It just
So it
kind
was
of
just
it
in
was
there.
just genius, just a spark of genius.
So you've just had that living in your head.
No, I just thought of what's the most random thing I could want to do. I don't know.
Wow. Can I tell you
I'm gonna
something?
be I'm gonna be on the next Whose Line Is It Anyway? HBO. We're gonna be dirty this time.
The show's canceled. Can I ask you something? Or can I tell you something?
Sure.
The fact that you're like that you'll be like, what's the most random thing I can do? And then you immediately go to, let me put tapioca balls under my foreskin.
Hmm.
I want you to know, I know that people are going to say that's gross, but I want you to know that I think that's one of the most creative thoughts I've ever heard. And if people
you,
don't think that it's genius, they don't understand what genius is. Okay.
it's funny to think is I just imagined that you are like in some kind of like you've chosen a completely different career where you're doing some kind of like sex circus, like you're doing like
Okay.
you're like shooting ping pong balls out of your pussy or whatever, something like
Right.
crazy like that. But
Right.
it's your mom is still being your mom and being supportive.
She's like,
Oh,
she
Rosie,
just
that's
makes it happen.
oh God. I mean, I've been to a couple fuck shows before, but that was just something else.
Can I tell you something can I read you a text that I got from her yesterday from my mom? My mom is the most supportive woman alive. Like whatever I do, she just thinks I mean, when I do it in front of her, she'll be like, I don't understand that. I don't like that. That's not nice. But if I do it on stage and it gets an applause, my mom will be like, that was it's so amazing what you're able to do, you know?
Yeah.
And then she'll start crying, but out of joy. Anyway, so I texted her that I was like dreading something the other day. And she said, this is her, she's so earnest that it makes me uncomfortable. She goes, I understand. The feelings are complex and conflicted. Where is the fucking roadmap for this? Like she's just really, really leaning into her. She's very empathetic. Are you listening, Andy? Because you have a face
Yeah.
that you just had a stroke. Are you all right?
No, I'm listening.
Okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm sick thinking about it. And I go, she goes, and I wish I could rip the thoughts out of your head so you didn't have to suffer them. That's how she responds to me not feeling good about something. I wish I could rip the thoughts out of your head so you didn't have to suffer them. I just wrote, well, that's very motherly of you. I had no idea how to respond. Oh, and then she wrote, well, I have the privilege of being your mother.
Jesus Christ. So earnest.
And
So
then she
earnest.
said, oh my God, Will, you love Ken Burns' documentary on Muhammad Ali. I'm bawling like a baby.
Oh man, that should be called a mom segue. Just a
I
mother
mean,
segue.
it's truly, she's so heartfelt and so earnest that I think it's like cursed me. I'm like unable to be as sincere as she is. Like every time I start to be sincere, I feel like I'm my mother. And I start to get embarrassed for myself. I'm just like the way that she presents herself to the world, she's so honest and open and raw that I'm like, that is not safe. Like the way that you
Yeah.
are is not safe. I'm worried for you.
Well, that's why she lives in Maine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I definitely think like that's part of why me and your mom get along so well. Like, cause
Yeah.
I am so earnest and I can just talk about, like the most traumatic thing very, very casually. And your mom loves to dig in. She's like, let's get in there. Let's talk about trauma.
I can talk about
Um,
trauma casually, but I got to make jokes about it.
I know that's
Like,
the difference.
yeah, she just wants to like get in there. She
She
wants
wants
to
to
see
do
you cry.
the weekend retreat to open, your mom is like where you end up after an ayahuasca trip, like
Yes. Yeah.
your mom is an ayahuasca trip without the ayahuasca.
Yeah. Like if you go visit her, you're going to puke up old, something old and buried.
You're gonna release trauma that's holding you back.
Yeah.
Um, do we have any bad advice? We should probably wrap it up.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay. Let's look through here. What do we have from people? Mm, I don't know if we have any bad advice this week. Oh, we do. We do. Okay.
Great.
Bad advice question. Please keep anon. I followed your other bad advice and am omitting my alcoholic family from our wedding guest list. Our wedding is in 2 weeks, and I'm so happy I didn't invite them. Thank you. So now, what do I do when they find out via social media?
Um, you say just use COVID. We're running out of excuses. Like we're gonna lose this COVID excuse pretty soon. And just you gotta milk it for what it's worth. Just be like, sorry, the venue demanded a certain we had to cap it out or something. I don't know, you know.
You know what? Actually, just find a fake news source that's talking about some variant that like, and just make up a variant. Make up a variant, and write an article if you have to. You know, write an article.
Everybody at the wedding had Omega. Everybody at the wedding had Omega, and honestly,
it was actually
a
COVID
celebrated
only wedding. Yeah, it was a COVID only wedding, and we didn't invite anybody that didn't have COVID. Yeah, you had to have COVID to come. So
yeah,
sorry.
That's great.
Okay, so that would be our bad advice to you. Congratulations on getting married. We have one more question, Andy. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this one's a long one. Okay.
Jesus. All right.
I have a question for bad advice. I'd prefer it be answered on the Patreon episode if possible, just to protect privacy. Oh,
this is not.
Well, then we got to do this
Here,
on Patreon.
I have another one that we can do
because we do respect people's boundaries.
I will pull it up real quick.
Dude, I have the worst knot in my hair, and it's just like it's not gonna come out. It's really in there, and I think I just have to cut it off. I think I have to cut my hair off.
Oh, I know where this is actually in the. The question is in the Find Your Beach Instagram messages. Can you pull those up?
Yeah. Sorry everybody for the pause here. We are professionals. We just don't like to act like them.
We're very professional.
Okay. It's in the question in the Patreon questions
messages
or in the under what, general or requests or what?
No, it's in there. It's from a VIP.
I know that. Okay.
Starts with a P.
Okay. Quit my demanding public service job. Got a new job in my hometown in Ohio. Trying to make friends and generally be a good, fun adult. Bad advice only, please. Okay.
So you're new to town, maybe, or like, you know, you're free.
First thing to do is, I think, establish dominance.
Yeah, I think you get drunk and you get real drunk and you go to some kind of, it's got to be like a real sports bar, you know, just wings, potato skins, and you get real hammered on a Thursday night. It can't be prime time. And you get on the table and you piss on the table. I think that's, you kind of wear a skirt, wear a skirt without panties and just piss on the table and be like, this is mine. You know, that's a very dominant move.
Right. Or you could just go in and steal everyone's dogs. You know?
Yes.
You see a dog tied up outside of a building, take it. Take that dog. You know?
Be the Joker.
And just say a new sheriff's in town. You know, when you take the dog, leave a note. Say a new sheriff's in town. Hide your dogs.
Yeah, hide your dogs. Hide your kids.
I think it's a way to let people know you don't give a fuck, and also you really need affection.
I think a hostage situation at a doggy daycare is really good. I think a hostage is you take a doggy daycare over and you what you could do is you don't have to bring a weapon, just bring a chocolate bar with raisins in it. Bring a chocolate covered raisin thing and say I'll drop all of these. I'll throw them everywhere. You're not really going
I'll
to do
throw
it
these
because you don't want to
raisins.
hurt any of the puppies. Yeah. I'll feed all these kids. I'll feed all these these kids. I'll feed all these dogs chocolate covered raisins. Let me sleep in here with them.
Yeah, and then just
Oh my
or
God.
walk into a child's daycare with a peanut gun.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that is a good one. A peanut gun.
Yeah, just say the inoculation police are here.
It's not even
And
inoculating.
everybody's
Oh.
everybody's about to get a shot of peanut allergy, you know?
Everybody's about to
but
get a shot of peanut.
I think all of these are really good suggestions for being a good, fun adult.
Yeah. I think another thing you could do is you could fill all of the fountains in town with soap. That's always a good
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a really good one.
you could pull the fire alarm at a church.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good. Oh, get on the telecom system at a big box store and rap an NWA lyric, you know? Just get on there and be like, in the pussy is the place for me.
Yeah.
Always fucking is the life for me.
You're
Or
gonna
something like
sing
that.
it like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't
give
that
it
good?
sort of like a sing-songy vibe so people are very confused about the melody and the lyrics together, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Be
People
like,
are
oh
like,
my God.
I'm confused and offended.
Oh, you know what else you could do is you could start like kind of a gang war, you know?
Mm,
Like it doesn't have to be violent, but you could, as yourself, we know who you are. We know the person we're talking about, but they are anonymous for this. But you could find out maybe there's like guessing from where you're from. I don't know if you have access to real gangs, but you could you could what you could do is you could assume the identity of one gang and then you go to the other gang's turf and you throw water balloons and you're like I'm with the Bloods. Take that,
yeah.
you bitches. You know, like you just throw water balloons at them, you like super soaker them and you're like,
And then just cross your arms like this is how we do it in Ohio.
yeah, be like Bloods out.
You dap.
Yeah. All right, well, so that's this week's bad advice.
All right, you guys. Make sure you tune in on Friday for the Patreon episode. If you're not a Patreon member, head over to patreon.com/find your beach. We put out an extra episode every week. You get extra content through there. It's a lot of fun. And it's a little community of fun people who are silly and are done with the culture wars and just want to be a Japanese game show host. You know?
Simple. It's a very niche
Simple.
community, but it's growing.
Okay. Also, while we're on there, we should, on Friday's episode, we should do a full review of each subway line in New York City. It'll be quick because not everybody who listens is based in New York, but it should be fun.
I'll work on it. I'll work on a subway review.
Okay. Again, you guys make sure that you come check us out in Grand Rapids on October 15th and 16th. Patreon members, VI Beaches, let us know. Wait, not Grand Rapids, Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City.
I'm sorry. Salt Lake City, October 15th and 16th. And VI Beaches, let us know if you are there. We can get you free tickets to come see the show. And check our websites, social media. I'm Rosebud Baker. Or mine's just Rosebud Baker. Yours is?
I'm Andy Haynes.
Okay. And follow the podcast on Instagram. Find Your Beach Pod. We love you guys. Bye.
Bye.